Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us here on News 5 at 6. I'm Rob Quirk.
And I'm Elizabeth Watts. We begin tonight with your election watch. We are 5 days away from the midterm election. It's too late to send your ballot in through the mail, but there are plenty of other ways you can cast your vote ahead of what are expected to be long lines come Election Day. News
5's Laura Wilson live outside one of those main drop-off locations on Guard of the Gods Road with more tonight. Laura.
Well, we're still seeing some cars trickle in, but not as busy as about an hour ago at this particular election drop box. Now, the message around the country for the last month has been for people to get out and vote for this midterm election. Here in Colorado, though, they have another message for voters, which is to get out and vote early. It was a steady stream of cars stopping by this 24-hour drop box during the lunch hour on Thursday.
I feel it's my duty to vote.
Voters handing in their ballots with the same objective.
Just to avoid the mad rush of the day of the vote.
And save themselves some time in the long run.
We've had to wait up to an hour in line in the past, so this is awfully convenient.
How long did it take you today to vote?
60 seconds.
The El Paso County Elections Department is on track to receive more ballots this year than in the 2014 midterm.
We have a gubernatorial race, Secretary of State race, Attorney General, State Treasurer race, so I think the ballot content is generating a lot of interest here in this state.
Chuck Rohrman says 95% of the votes will come in through mail and these drop-off sites. That leaves a small percentage of voters who will come into an actual polling center. But if you stop here on Election Day, the lines will not be short.
Typically, we see stuff in the order of 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I can guarantee you no lines the rest of this week.
Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If less than 3 of the hours in that time frame are non-work hours, your employer is legally required to provide up to 2 hours of paid time off to allow you to go and vote. But you must put that request in prior to Election Day.
It's important if they are going to come on Election Day to have done their research so that when they do get their ballot that they're able to process that through rather quickly.
Now, there's no registration cutoff, meaning between now and Tuesday night, you can come in and get registered to vote. The Elections Department has enlisted the help of 300 volunteers to help out at various polling centers, which will also be open this Saturday. Currently, there are 15 centers up and running, but come Monday, that number is going to increase to 28. Always watching out for you, El Paso County. Laura Wilson, News 5.
Laura, good info. Thank you. In our continuing voter watch, the latest voting numbers out tonight from the Secretary of State's office reporting that more than 1 million people have turned in their ballots ahead of Tuesday's deadline. One of the more telling numbers, so-called millennials, those in the 18 to 25 age group. We learned today that a little more than 50,000 of the 1.1 million who have cast ballots so far include that particular age group. Now, if you expand it up to age 40, add another 170,000 ballots.
So I think it really is a maturity thing. I think as people get older, they realize that voting is more important and they're paying more taxes, trying to figure out where their retirement's going to go.
As for the number of people who have turned in their ballots locally, now the state hasn't broken down voting age groups for individual counties, but in El Paso County so far, more than 120,000 ballots have been returned, more than 27,000 in Pueblo County. Of course, KOAA, we are your election headquarters at KOAA.com. You can find our complete coverage of candidates, issues, locations to drop off the ballots, as Laura talked about, in-depth coverage of all the issues important to your life. Just click on the Election Watch category under the News tab. Of course, we'll have live up-to-the-minute election results on air Tuesday night, November 6th, throughout the evening as those results are announced.